Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to my home. This is a channel about cross stitch and quilting and any other crafty things or decorating things that I come up with. I love to go to thrift stores, so sometimes that comes into play, and so hopefully there'll be something that you will find interesting. I hope you can sit back and stitch and get something accomplished and just chit chat with me. So I have quite a few things that I was able to fully finish. I think I have about 6, I think, if I counted right. This last week, I have been taking down all my patriotic stuff, and I had done a lot of stitching just in this last month on bees as a theme. I'd never had that as a theme before. And so I really tried, and I feel like I have accomplished it. I'm excited. There's a few more things that I think would be fun to add in, but overall I was happy with what I was able to create around my home. And that putting out new stuff as far as things I've created or stitched always motivates me to clean and move stuff around. And so I was able to change things up quite a bit just by moving things that I've already had and added a few stitched things in. So it's been a lot of fun. I thought I would take you around on a little tour to see, first of all, the things that I have fully finished, and then see where I've used them in my decor. So I was going to bring everything out from the displays and show them here on the couch, and then take and put them back away and then go around for a tour. But I don't know that I could get all that accomplished while I have it on pause, because you know me, I'm a one-take wonder. And so anyway, I thought it'd just be easier just to take you around on a little tiny bit of a tour. There's still some other things I still need to do, like I have my sunflower quilt that I'd still need to hang up and whatnot, but it's a starting point. I figure I'll have this stuff up for at least one more video, and then I'll start moving into fall here in a couple of weeks. So sometimes I start with fall too soon and I get kind of sick of it. No, that's not true. I don't ever get sick of fall. But I don't want to have the same stuff out for months. I want to be able to switch it around. So, wow, I've just been blabbing. So anyway, hope everybody has been having fun creating and doing the things. I've been having fun. I've been also, in addition to the things that I've stitched for my home, I've been really trying to make an effort to make some things to sell. And so at the end of the video, just in case you're not interested in all and seeing those things, I'm going to put it to the end of the video, but I was hoping to share some of the things that I'm planning on listing, and I'll get into that more at the end. But so I've been creating those things also. So really, it's been a good time. I've been trying to do less scrolling on my phone and more creating, so it's been fun. And hopefully my dogs don't start barking. Okay, so let me take you around on a little tour of what I've been creating. So just a second. Okay, so this is a little cabinet in my dining room, and I have finally finished up my Prairie Schooler chart. This is called Summer Breeze, and I just wrapped it around some mat board, and I had this little easel that I got at the thrift store quite a few years ago, but I needed to paint what was on the easel, and I'm just not much for painting, so that just has been low on the list of things to do. But what I ended up doing is I just covered the area that I was going to paint with some cardstock that kind of matched my linen so that it wouldn't be such a abrupt change. Because as hard as I tried to get that line straight, it was kind of hard. My linen was kind of warped. It was hard to get it to straighten out. So anyway, but I just have it on the table, the cabinet, I'm sorry, with some gardening tools and some little pots and a couple little silk ranunculus. I just love these little flowers. And since there's some swans in the piece, I grabbed some swans from around the house. So that's that area. And so then this is my dining room table. I really didn't change much in here. I just put some different flowers in my ironstone pitcher. I just did some ranunculus and some mums. But yet I just wanted it to be more sunflowery and bee kind of themed than fall. And I took my Spring Farmhouse by Not Forgotten Farm that I had finished a few years ago and just put that up in here. So that's that. So on my island in my 3-tier tray, I just ended up putting my Spring Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. I put that out because I thought, well, it has a yellow house and that'll be fine with my yellow flowers that I put up. Then on the other side of my island from my tier tray, I ended up putting my Hive Sweet Hive from Melissa from Pinker and Pumpkin. And then I had finished a couple of her strawberries. And so I put them in the little vignette. Just have it on a yellow cake stand. And then I put some spools and some sunflowers around just for fun. Oops. I didn't realize I was still recording. Anyway, this is my piece by it's Sunflowers, Autumn on Sunflower Ridge, I believe, by oh shucks, I'll have to try to remember what it is and I'll put it in the description box. I got myself all flustered since I was recording when I didn't know I was. But this is just on the TV ironing board, the ironing board behind my television. Jeez, I'm all worried now. What did you see? Okay, and then I've also had a request in the comments wondering about my ladder shelves that I have behind me in a couple of videos. We have these all through our house. They're just long antique wooden ladders that my husband has. We have some brackets that are up above the shelf, the ladder. That way I can conceal the brackets with all of my stuff that I accumulate up there. And then those brackets are into the studs. And then on the ends, they are into studs at the front also. I don't know if you can tell, but in the middle where the two join, there's also a piece of rebar that comes from the ceiling and kind of is a securing thing that will keep it all sturdy so I can pile it full of junk. Okay, and then I also changed over my hutch. So I'll share with you some of my bee stuff that I had finished in my last video. Pillows are from Primrose Cottage. Their Hive Rules series. I have one of my rugged hooked sunflowers that I make. They're like bowl fillers. And then I have a pinker and pumpkin shaker house. And then since there was teal in a lot of those little pillows, I tried to bring the teal things from around my house and try to make it all cohesive. Love it. Okay, so, sorry, now my camera's crooked. So anyway, I hope you liked some of the areas that I have decorated with my finishes. It's fun because there's just little bits in each room, so as I go through my day, I enjoy sitting out, the things sitting out that kind of encouraged me to go stitch some more. Sometimes I think, oh, you've got more stitching than you know what to do with, you're running out of wall space, but totally fun to be able to pull things out and move things around and pretend you have new stuff. So anyhow, okay, so, and in the back of my mind, all I'm wondering is where I had the camera and how bad was my time where I was filming and didn't realize. Hopefully it doesn't show how dirty my floor is because I haven't vacuumed yet today. Anyhow, it is what it is. When you don't know how to edit and you don't want to go through doing all of that again. This is already take 2, so. Okay. So as far as some of the finishes that I showed, like I said, this is a little piece that is by Blackbird Design. I had a dear friend that watches the channel, Sherry, and she sent me the little basket. She said, I have a couple of the baskets that they recommended that you use. Would you like me to send you one? And she did that a couple of years ago, and I was really late to the game on finishing it. But then yesterday, I looked over and I saw it, and I thought, okay, so today is the day. So this is in the book In Friendship's Way by Blackbird Design. It's called their Honeycomb Basket. And so I need to make some cute pins. I think it would be fun to make some bee-themed pins to go inside of it. Now they had done it in like a pastel color, and I'm not really a pastel girl, so I wanted to do it in bee-themed colors. So I just picked DMC colors, like a gold, an orange, more of a bronzy gold. I used a dark brown and a white, like ecru, around all of the edges of the little honeycombs. And I wasn't sure what count this was, and I was too lazy to figure it out. So I'm like, well, I don't know the template. I don't know that the template's going to match. So I didn't even worry about the template. I just took my piece of stitching and I ran a gathering stitch about, I don't know, 1.25 inches, something like that. I mean, a generous inch all the way around the edge of the stitching, because I figured by the time I gathered it up and got it into the bottom of the basket, I was gonna need at least that much. So I just gathered it around in kind of a circle shape around the design. I didn't cut anything off yet, and then I pulled the gathers up. I put a tiny bit of polyfill in there, and then I kind of mashed it down into the little basket. And I thought, okay, I think that's all gonna work. So then I went ahead and I trimmed off about 1/2 inch or so past my gathered stitch. And then I pulled the gathers up pretty tight, just enough for me to get a little skewer in there. And I added more and more and more stuffing, trying to fill out any of the little imperfections. And then I tied it off and closed the hole and all of that. And I put a piece of fabric, like wool, on the bottom to cover up all the gathers and whatnot. Try to neaten it up a little bit, even though you really can't see it. But then it was a little too poofy. It didn't want to stay down inside my basket. And so the way I fixed that is I just ran a needle and thread through the bottom of my little pin cushion. And I don't know if you can see the pieces of thread, but I just kind of went around the bottom of the basket and just kind of anchored it down. And so now it stays in there real nice. But I love it. So thanks, Sherry, for sharing the little basket with me. Very excited to have that finished. Okay, and then I just briefly showed the strawberries that I had made. And like I said, these are freebies from Melissa at Pinker and Punkin. And you can just Google her strawberries. And it was another case where I wasn't exactly sure what fabric count this was. I just kind of was winging it and figured, oh, I had plenty of linen. It would be fine. So anyway, I just went as far as the top of my linen that I had left, and I just cut out the strawberry shape that was that I normally use for strawberries. Oh, this is awful. I wish I could redo it, but I'm too lazy to start over. Anyway, just sewed it into a strawberry shape, stuffed it, gathered it, and put the wool at the top. And I just usually, when I try to do a strawberry top, I think of a star shape, and I just try to cut a star shape out of my wool and then just kind of hook it down. And now in this case, it was starting to cover up some of my bees, so I just trimmed it. Anyway, it's a real primitive strawberry. And then this one, I think, was Mary's Basket, and it was also by Pinker and Punkin, and it was a freebie. But anyway, those were fun. I was happy to get those finished because in the back of my mind, I thought it was going to be such a big deal. Because of course I don't follow the rules and I don't use the right count. And if I would do that, it would be so much easier. But I usually just grab a scrap bag of linen that I have by my stitching chair and I just wing it. And so anyhow, that's what I did. But those are pretty much my finishes for this time. The fully finished. So let me get the next pile, just a second. Okay, so my finish for this time is by Little House Needleworks. And this is Summer ABCs. I have this will be 3 out of the 4 seasons that she's done. So I'm excited to get that finished. I was hoping to get it FFO'd by the video today, but I really do want to try to stay on every 2 weeks, if not every week, because it just is good for me to have a deadline, because if there's something I can procrastinate about, I'm there. And so I've tried to start making some goals for myself to keep myself accountable. So now this is on a big count of fabric. I want to say maybe a 25 or 28 count, so that it'll fit on the shutter that I have the other seasons already on. So, but anyway, I just picked my own colors. And after seeing Sean's from Periwinkle Stitcher, I totally wish I had used the called for colors, because hers was just stunning. If you haven't watched Sean, you need to stop the video and head over there, because she is incredible. very inspiring, everything that she does. And her voice is just a treat to listen to. So if you don't watch her, you need to put that on your to-do list. ASAP. Stat. Okay. Then I worked on a salve that I'm working on with Darlie, my friend from StitchCon that we went together with. We bought these together at StitchCon. And so I'm doing the little drum. But instead of doing the colors that are in the chart, I wanted it to be in more of a blue theme, because I'm hoping to kind of move in that direction in my bedroom and bathroom, master bath area. I'd like it to be kind of a blue theme. So I was able to work a little bit more on it. Let's see. So I'm using just DMC colors. I just picked some blues that I liked. And so I thought on the video I might go over what they are. So, oh, by the way, this is Quaker Star Delight Drum by Jeanette Douglas. I'm using 930. Oh, what is that? Well, I must have already gone over this because I kind of remember. Oh, it's 931 DMC. And then 155 is the lightest blue. And my medium blue is, oh, this one says 931. So it must be 930, 931, and 155. But really, if you pick any 3 shades of blue that you like, you should be fine. And so I'm just kind of picking and choosing where I use it, but I'm very excited with the way it's turning out. So now I just have to do this little scallop at the top and then the row of flowers, and I'll be done. It's going to be a tiny, tiny drum. This is on a piece of 40 count, and it's an R&R, but I'm not exactly sure what the, might be a Winter's Brew or a Brenda's Brew, something like that. So, almost done with that one. Okay, and then I did a little bit more on Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. So I'm doing, I showed the spring one already in my little tour. That was the one I did on my tier tray. I had picked my own colors and I had done a brighter yellow. Although I love her colors, I don't know why I change them. It's just, I think it's because a lot of the times I don't have the fancy floss. And so I try to just be able to come up with something comparable. And my canaries are just singing us up a storm. They have been so quiet all day. And then I get on here and now he's just up there just chattering away. I'm having a floss tube right now, mister. Anywho, so I am working on the autumn one. I actually have all 4 of them going at this point. I did them as my 12 and 12 or 12 by 12. So I'm working on the summer one. And then the Christmas one I haven't worked on again since the little hour that I worked on. But I was able to put quite a bit more work on my autumn. So I was able to do the little pumpkins beside the house. And then I did the pumpkins above the house, and I started on the border, which isn't that sweet. Those oak leaves and acorns, oh my goodness, so pretty. I still have to figure out what color I'm gonna do on my door. It kind of shows like a teal color. And I do have a teal that I like in my Brenda Keys piece, so maybe I should go raid that bag and pick that out. Okay, so that pretty much covers my finishes and my whips for this time. I haven't worked on my Brenda Keys piece in the last couple of weeks, but I've had a couple people really interested in my conversion on that. So I thought I would try to go over that a little bit in this video. I did list the colors that I am using, and I really loosely. I'm not subbing one color for another color on the chart. I'm just kind of using these colors randomly throughout the chart whenever they feel right. So anyway, that's in the other room. So we'll go over there, and I will try to show you more about that. But while I'm here, I had brought in one of the things that I was working on was retreat mats, or even something that you could use in your stitching area, whatever. I just made some little mats, and then I put a sunflower on them and a random piece of blue thread from my drum. But and then I quilted it on my long arm. I stitched a little pin cushion, and mainly just because I absolutely love stitching this bee, and so I was excited to stitch it 4 times. So I made those into little pillows. There will be a pin cushion that will go with it. And then to use some of the covered buttons that I had purchased a while back, you know, I just had to have them. And then I've only used them on one scissor fob, and I haven't even had the guts to give it to the person yet because I think it's kind of goofy looking. So I thought, well, Lisa, just go ahead and get those out. So then these mats will also come with this scissor fob that's real easy to just loop it around the edge of your scissors and hang it on. So I tried to do kind of an abstract kind of sunflower that would kind of go with this shape here. I wish I had wool in the exact right color, but this is a little bit more of a bronzy color, but I still thought it was pretty. So I think it'll be a cute little set. And I made 4 sets of this, so that will be something that I'll be listing. And I believe I'm going to do it on Saturday night. I also wanted to mention also a couple of different times. I had talked about having a separate Instagram that I would post the things that I was thinking about selling, but I'm not happy with having 2 different Instagrams. It's just too hard to keep track of and popping back and forth. Anyway, I feel like I'm just going to stick with one. So I probably will announce that I'm going to do the sale on my original Instagram, Lisa Abby 9137. And so that's where I'm going to do my sales. I am not tech savvy enough to have a zillion different spots. I just want to have one to keep track of. And that was just another set of Instagram that I was just scrolling through, and it's like, okay, I don't need 2 different sets of feeds to keep up with. I'll never get anything finished. Okay, so I'll get up and I'll go show you Brenda Keys. Almost forgot what I was doing. Okay, so this is the Red House Sampler by Brenda Keys, the sampler company. And this is her color scheme. It's more of a orangey red color house. 2 different colors in the border. Very pretty. But that orangey color is just not me. So, like I said, I was hoping to try to get more blues into my bedroom. And so this is what I came up with. Now, the blue that I used is called Blackboard, I believe. Let me look here real quick. Sorry. Yeah, it's called Blackboard by Gentle Arts, and that is the blue that I'm using for my house. For the roof, I used walnut, and that's just one variegated floss that gives all that dimension. I tried to just stitch each little tile by itself and then move on to the next one, and that just gave it such a pretty variegation. As far as the greens that I'm using I think that and parchment are the only no, I'm not even using parchment in here. I'm just using ecru for all of the cream. So anyway, so we're just going to go over the colors that I have on here. I have, for the green, I have 3011. I'm using 422. And I believe I used that in those little flowers there. 3862. I used that in part of the pot. 420. Actually, that might be the centers of the flower. For the browns that I've mixed all through, like I used it on the little guy and the door, the trunks of the tree, I have 801, 3371, and those are my browns that I've used so far. I've also used 936. For a green, I've used 3053, sorry. I've used 3012, 3013, and a lot of times when I would use the 3012 and 3011 and 3013, a lot of those were when I was trying to shade my topiary and work on the grass. For the lady's dress, which I wish I had used a different color, but nonetheless, I've used 677. Another brown was 3031. I've been using ecru. For the blue flowers up there, I used 926. For the color that I'm using in my border, that is DMC 504. And my plan originally was to use red currant in the flowers around the border, but I didn't use that there. I think I might have used it here though as the red. So anyway, I hope that kind of helps you if you're trying to do that kind of a color scheme. But mainly I think the thing that makes the whole piece is the house And it's funny, I mean, it looks so blue, but it's actually called blackboard. That just cracks me up. So anyway, all right, so that is my Blue House sampler, otherwise known as the Red House sampler. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to share a little bit about some of the pieces that I've made to sell. And so if this isn't what you're interested in, I understand completely. And thank you for joining me. And if you're interested in to see what I'm going to list on Saturday, and I believe it's going to be Saturday evening, stay tuned. Okay, so I've made some strawberry sets, and they will all be labeled with a Scrabble letter that will differentiate about each different one, just because there's different plates and different fabric, different spools and whatnot. So don't mind my very pretty box. Anyway, so these are what I'll be selling. They are going to be $25 plus shipping, and the shipping that I've done on a couple of them was about $10. So that's the one set, or the one grouping of them. And then I have another set, or another few. I have another milk glass pincushion that will come with a strawberry on the side. I have another pincushion in a drum. I have one in a little crock that will come with a doily. And so hopefully, if that interests you, you'll be able to join me on Saturday. Then I also have a couple pin cushions that I made. I believe the turtle's going to be listed on Saturday, and then so will this little red pin cushion. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me on seeing some of the things that I am hoping to post on Saturday night. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the finishes and a little bit of the tour around my home. Basically, I just hope this inspired you to get out some of your projects and get busy on them, and to actually finish them up and put them around your house so they'll bring you joy. I thank you for being with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I hope you get a lot of fun things accomplished, or you get the rest that you need. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye-bye.